Hello friends, this is Terry from Genkigamingtv. This is Yokai Watch Y Academy. Even a cat can be a hero. I'm kidding. Close Encounters of the Other In-Kind. Today's episode, or whenever this actually was, episode 31. Koma's mother came, or Koma-kun no Kamakachan ga yatte kita. This episode was a hot mess. I am not saying that as a insult. I am saying that as, man, was this episode hard to watch. I mean, I don't hate Kamakachan, but for me, the pacing of this one just felt so skewed. I felt like they would do a smooth pacing for this because this is your chance to show off Kamakachan or Koma-mama in the stylization. But I guess their point of view and my point of view really differed. But the episode starts off with Jinpei basically looking at what he would probably consider an ecchi magazine, but yeah, it's probably an ecchi magazine. Because the image I have of it isn't 100% lewd, but for him, because he is Jinpei, aka the Nyan KB loving red cat, anything could go into that category. So our gang shows up at Jinpei's store and says, "Hey, you know that thing called summer vacation? It's almost over." And with that being almost over, did you do all of your homework? Are you done everything? Jinpei panics because, of course, our lovable main character didn't even think about it. Fubuki showed off a new helmet design. The anti-poop helmet is what I'm calling it because this helmet's design and its whole creation was because of that stupid incident way back on the episode where she became Clock Lady, where the dog just kept pooping, the Digimon pink poop. But we're not going to dwell on that. Basically, Jinpei and Koma-san actually show up on time, which is a good thing, and Kamakachan hug rushes Koma-san, or Sandayuu. Also, I love the way she talks to him. I'm a little off by the purple hair, because Kamakachan, you would figure since, wait, I need to double check a image real quick. Luckily, I'm on the best place in the world, the Yokai Watch Wiki. Okay. But yet they don't have it written out the way that I have it written out. So as I try to find this, which I don't think I'm going to end up finding, my thought process here is like her hair is a much different color than what I thought it would be. And no, this isn't a pet peeve. If you look at her in her actual yokai form, isn't it more of like a dark pink? But I guess that would kind of clash with what all is going on, like the color palette they chose. Because it wouldn't work with the color palette of the dress they chose for her. Also, her hair matches her shoes, but that really doesn't matter. But some guy just drops one of our glorious classmates, decides that he's just going to basically walk by and drop something, and she smacks his butt because he needed punished for littering. But as she's doing it, she's sewing a sign or a logo onto his behind. This episode should have been just Kamakachan or Koma-mama kicks butt or beats behind because we get a flashback of her doing the same exact thing to a tinier Sandayuu. Also, Sandayuu's room looks really comfy. I like the tatami mat layout that's there. I like the little cushion chair. I like the lantern that he has beside the mirror. Also, like, his room just looks cozy, but we're gonna move on to a flashback featuring Koma-papa, or Koma-san, or Sandayuu's father. And this all continues on to Sandayuu and siblings trying to say a tongue twister, and Sandayuu not being able to. And then Haruhiko meets up with Kamakachan, and he ends up getting his butt beaten too because he wasn't a good enough teacher to lead Sandayuu down the proper path. Yeah, I'm just paraphrasing some of this stuff because I kind of wasn't really amused with this episode. Kamakachan is actually an Onryou. Surprise, surprise. I honestly, when I saw the preview, or whenever I heard that there would be hints that she was going to be in the episode, I had honestly thought, hey, they're not going to make her an Onryou. Her Onryou name is Batin Mama Girasu, which I guess that's a alright name because it's a onomatopoeia, or etymology, basically a pun, baton and mama, and it's based upon Penny Megalis, according to the wiki. It's kind of similar to Kyodai Salesman, but I have to say this Onryou is just like barely an Onryou if you're basing it off of the definition from my video based on Onryou. I'm not nitpicking. I'm just saying this was a step backwards. But both Motaro and Fubuki fell victim to the Koma Mama Slam Jam combo. Thank you, ma'am. And Fubuki's face, her poor little face, and Motaro's hair is not how it should look. But with the help of Kingo Benimaru and Shishio, with them basically being, I won't say taken down, they were kind of defeated by Batin Mama, it was time for Blue Moon to do his thing along with Little Commander. We saw a flashback to Komadilla and Sandayuu becoming friends, them both being scared of each other, which, like, this flashback to me is the big thing that really helps and kind of redeems this episode, because I'm not going to give this episode a rating because I believe that would get me heat, because I only enjoyed the flashbacks, and as someone who doesn't normally enjoy stuff that's flashback heavy, these flashbacks to showing a younger Koma, or Sandayuu Koma, and showing his mama caring is good. It's lighthearted. It doesn't really advance the plot, which is kind of what we were needing. I guess they're trying to set things so that they have a cool off episode after like 4 or 5 episodes of progression and plot. But I feel like this one might have hurt the momentum a tiny bit. But after a touching backstory with both Kamakachan and Komaokasan, or Koma-papa and Koma-mama, both looking at a little photo book of Sandayuu, our little commander hero gets the opportunity to pluck some nose hairs out of his mama as a distraction for him to trap and spin her right around with his special ability. And then she's defeated Fubuki gets a new Clock Lady medal, and we get a touching moment here at the end. The touching moment and flashbacks aside, this episode's pacing was just a hot mess. Kamakachan is apparently the strongest person in Y Academy. That's why she had to go, guys. That's why she left. It wasn't because she needed to return home. It was because she knew that she was too powerful to stay in this place. That with her being there, no one else could get strong. I mean, she took out Meroraido, Haruhiko, Jinpei, Fubuki, Mitoro. The only other strong person left was Ronto, and I have a feeling that she would have just owned Ronto. But that's little joke aside, the episode was just okay. I'm not giving it a 1 to 10 rating because I don't feel like this one needs one. This episode is just part of the reason why I think that they might want to consider taking a small break once Y Academy has finished up. I'm not talking about anything big, but just taking a little bit of time off so that stuff is planned to the T so that they can build momentum and stay within a positive trend. This episode was not horrible, but it certainly was not the best that they could have done. The fact that I skipped through smaller portions, like right now, you guys know, I skip transformations because we've seen them hundreds of times, except for like new characters or new power-ups. I won't skip the transformations for a couple of videos. Like, I'll actually sit there and watch through to see if there's anything hidden within the transformation, kind of like how back in the day when Digimon had Digivolutions, there were sometimes stuff hidden in the background. So, yeah. You can watch this episode on the torrent link below. You just have to get uTorrent, which you guys can find yourselves. I'll just supply the link along with the link to the other Y Academy episodes. I want to thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you. And I think the next episode brings us right back in line with a little bit of pacing that we need to continue. I'm not going to say this is our final push towards the end of the series. What I'm saying is this little moment of a cool-off was not really needed. The QB episode last week was a valid cool-off episode. And it seems like things will be picking back up the pace with the case of the infinitely multiplying silver aliens. So it seems like we're going to be diving into some plot. So maybe this was necessary. I'll tell you guys after I watch next week's episode. And I'll see you then. Bye bye.